Thank you everyone for being here. Welcome to the awards announcement of the first cohort of Cleveland High Road Kitchens. It's amazing to be here today. My name is Mikey Nab. I'm the National Director of High Road Restaurants. We're so happy to be partnering with the George Gunn Family Foundation and the City of Cleveland, including Mayor Justin Bibb's leadership. And I want to thank all of you from One Fair Wage for being here today. Let's give a round of applause for the workers who are here. I also want to thank the press for coming to cover this very important story about restaurant owners in Cleveland committing to increasing race and gender equity in the restaurant industry and improving working conditions for working families. So I want to get started first by talking a little bit about a program. The High Road Kitchens program offers $5,000 grants to restaurants in Cleveland that are meant to support their operating team going through training for race and gender equity as it relates to hiring, training, recruitment, and promotional practices within their restaurants. Those trainings are given by former restaurant owners and current restaurant owners who are part of the High Road Restaurants Association across the country. They give peer-to-peer support to help restaurants achieve the goal of increasing race and gender equity and improving working conditions while ensuring that they're profitable and prosperous as they go. The restaurants that are here today represent owners in Cleveland who have made commitments to going through those trainings, as well as scaling up to paying $15 an hour to all workers plus tips on top. So let's hear another round of applause for that. Thank you. Now I'm really happy to welcome one of our partners, a very important member of the Cleveland community, Mayor Justin Bibb.
Thank you so much. This is an exciting day in Cleveland. I want to just really acknowledge the Gunn Foundation and the One Fair Wage team for making this the first pilot in Ohio to kick this movement off. So let's give them a round of applause if we can. And I really enjoyed spending a brief afternoon as a server at Fat Cats in Tremont. And I thought being mayor was a hard job. But being a server, waiting on tables, and working in the hospitality industry in our city, particularly our restaurants, is one of the hardest jobs in our economy and in our city. And you all are the backbone of our community, the backbone of our economy in so many ways. And it is so important for us as leaders at City Hall, us as leaders in philanthropy, and us as residents to support the amazing work you do to feed our community, to build hope, and to create more vibrant neighborhoods. So I'm excited about this amazing pilot program we're kicking off, and I'm really excited about the conversation, the hard but important conversation we're having right now about a fair wage. And that is not just about putting more money in people's pockets, because that's important, especially in this economy. But this is about dignity. Dignity. I remember my mom took a job at Red Lobster to put more money in our pockets to help us get through hard times. And so we are optimistic that other restaurant owners will see the importance of this movement, not just across Cleveland, but across Ohio, and hopefully one day across the entire nation, because Cleveland's going to lead the way. So I have the distinct pleasure to have all of our awardees come up this afternoon, and we have a special proclamation to present to them. Yes. Amiga, please introduce yourselves. Please.
Hi, this is Amiga Korean Barbecue Restaurant. My name is Ashley, and I'm so glad we have some help, got some help for our restaurant. So thank you so much.
And they agreed to host us today as well, so let's show them some love for doing that. Okay. right. Superior Foe. You're up next. Let's give a round of applause.
Hi, my name is Chris Wynn, and this is Claudine Wynn. We're from Superior Pho Restaurant. Very proud to be here. We're very proud to be a part of the cultural fabric of Asiatown and of Cleveland, and thank you everyone for your support. We're happy to give back.
I can confirm they have some of the best ramen in Cleveland, by the way. Pho. Sorry. I was testing you, sorry. Introduce yourself.
D'Angelo Speed from the Daiquiri Factory. We was founded in South Euclid. Our second location is in Cleveland now. I want to thank you for the opportunity and grow in Cleveland and just building more jobs with this economy. I want to thank the mayor, Nick over there, and thank you again for it.
We have JB Grill Soul Food.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Barbara Bradford Williams. I am the proud owner of JB's Grill Soul Food, and also we're located in Slavic Village, as well as the Burtonville Car Development. We have 2 locations, and our newest location is the Box Spot, which we have been struggling because of the pandemic, because when it opened, it fell right in the pandemic. So we're looking to build up. We're looking to promote the neighborhood. We're looking to hire new employees, and we're looking forward to the $15 an hour.
Got it? Okay, great, congratulations. One more?
Yeah. Come on in, Molly.
Verbena Free Spirited.
Verbena, yes.
Verbena, good to see you.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late. My name is Molly Chirasso. I'm the owner of Verbena Free Spirited. We're a non-alcoholic bottle shop and bar. We just opened in Hingetown at the corner of West 29th and Church Street. We have a team of about 7 people, and I'm a first-time business owner, and this grant is really helpful for me as we're really just getting our feet under us, so thank you so much.
Good to see you. How you doing? Good. Get a picture. Got it? Great.
Okay, one last round of applause for the mayor and all these amazing restaurant owners, please. Now, the reason we stood up the High Road Kitchens program was early in the pandemic. It had a lot to do with helping workers in the restaurant industry who were really struggling. A lot of workers in the restaurant industry were not able to get unemployment benefits early in the pandemic, and that's partly because such a large part of our industry is undocumented, but it's also because so many people are paid a sub-minimum wage that when they reported their earnings to the employment department, they were told you don't make enough to qualify for unemployment. And when unemployment is the mechanism through which the government gave additional aid, that means they didn't get that either. So we had a lot of folks reach out to us and say, we want to help. We want to help these restaurant workers, and we want to help independent restaurant owners who have made commitments to these folks. So we put together a grant program, public-private partnerships, just like the one you're seeing today, High Road Kitchens here in Cleveland. We realized there were 2 kinds of hungry people at the time. There were people who were hungry to eat and people who were hungry to help. And this program helped both of those people. We gave grants out early in the pandemic for restaurants to bring their workers back safely to prepare and distribute meals to people who were food insecure in their communities. And that was really important at the time. Of course, there are still food insecure people, but now the folks who are hungry for change are the ones we're trying to help. We want to see change that brings them up to a full minimum wage with tips on top. We want to see consistency in compensation for these hard-working professionals in the hospitality industry. And we want to support the kinds of restaurants that support those kind of workers, like the folks you see here today. So if you're in Cleveland and you're deciding where to eat, now you know, go to the High Road Kitchens. I really want to thank again the Gun Foundation, Mayor Justin Bibb, for their commitment to helping put this public-private partnership together to help uplift working people. And I also want to thank One Fair Wage, who, by the way, High Road Restaurants is a part of One Fair Wage. We are an association that is a program of One Fair Wage. And now I want to invite my friend Mariah from One Fair Wage to give some comments from the worker perspective.
Hi everyone, I'm the campaign manager here at One Fair Wage. First, I want to thank Mayor Bibb and the Gun Foundation for being able to pilot this program here in Cleveland, in my hometown. I'm extremely excited that Cleveland is going to be the first city in Ohio to do this program. And I'm more thankful for these restaurant owners who are going to be offering One Fair Wage to their employees to be able to test this here in Cleveland, so that we, as an organization who is moving a ballot initiative right now to increase the minimum wage across the entire state, will be able to show that this is great, not just for the workers, but also for the employers, for the small business owners across our state. But we cannot remember why we're doing this. I mean, we cannot forget to remember why we're doing this. The sub-minimum wage here in Ohio and here in our entire country is a remnant of slavery. And we are all fighting to end those remnants of slavery. The sub-minimum wage was first introduced due to emancipation when Black women and Black men were freed. They were used by restaurants in the first place as a form of free labor, and they were only paid tips at first. And we can never forget that. Currently, the federal minimum wage for sub-minimum wage for tipped employees is $2.13. Here in Ohio, it is $5.05. Across the nation, this has been the case for over 100 years. And that is what we're fighting to change. We're fighting for the rights of workers, but we're also fighting for small business owners to be able to employ people that want to work there so they don't have high turnover, so their employees value the fact that they're able to help small business owners as well achieve their dreams in this country. And we just had a big win in Chicago where we won $15 minimum wage. Oh, no, we won One Fair Wage across the whole city. And we're hoping to do this across the nation. So I just want to thank everybody, people here, people in the back, who are the employees at One Fair Wage, who is currently fighting for this initiative across the state. And once again, I want to thank Mayor Bibb, the Gun Foundation, and the restaurant owners for being able to pilot this program here in Cleveland.
All right, can we get your last name, please?
Ross, R-O-S-S.
And is it M-A-R-I-A-H?
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
The sub-minimum wage, can you talk about the impact that has on restaurant workers here in Cleveland and their families?
Yes. As Mikey was saying, majority of restaurant workers, especially those who were serving and were on the sub-minimum wage, were not able to qualify for unemployment during the COVID-19 pandemic. What this meant for them is that they couldn't afford food, they couldn't afford to pay their rent, and they couldn't afford the basic human rights that we all deserve as people who live in this country. And that is why we are fighting to change this. We're fighting so that people can afford their groceries. We're fighting so that people can afford their rent, things that are a basic human right, and things that no one in Cleveland should not have. And I know Mayor Bibb agrees, because Mayor Bibb is piloting this program across Cleveland.
We asked the mayor a question.
Yes.
Q&A in 1 minute. Sorry.
All right, thanks everyone.
Mariah, thank you. I just wanted to get this last piece in before Q&A. So thank you to Mariah Ross, thank you to the mayor, thank you to the Gun Foundation, thank you to the press, thank you to MIGA and Asia Town Center for hosting. The last thing is, there were a few restaurant owners who were not able to be with us today, but are part of this first cohort that are participating in the program, and I just wanted to read all 10 of the first cohort. So, and apologies if I mispronounced anything. Cleveland Mofongo Latin Grill, Ha An Restaurant, Miga Korean Barbecue, Superior Pho, Verbena Free Spirited, Daiquiri Factory, Green Kitchen, Unbar, JB Grill Soul Food, and I believe it's pronounced Cafe LA. So those are the 10 in the first cohort. Let's give one round of applause for those 10 restaurants for making these commitments. And now, open for questions.
So we'd like to talk to some of the restaurant owners afterwards one-on-one so we can kind of get
Perfect.
the texture of
So
the restaurant.
I have told the restaurant owners it's up to them whether they want to speak to the press. So if you would,
And I
restaurant
know the
owners
mayor's time is valuable.
and
so-
the mayor, come on up.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the message that you feel the grant send to the restaurant owners, the employees, and to Cleveland?
The message to me is very simple, that Cleveland stands behind a fair wage. We are so just passionate about the importance of prioritizing racial equity, fair wages, and the dignity of work in Cleveland. And that's the message we want to send to our residents. And we want to encourage our residents to shop where their values are. And these restaurants are an example of that.
Can you talk about the challenges that all the restaurant owners in the city have faced?
Yeah.
Attracting and retaining
Yeah.
employees, and how you feel that the grant helps in that?
Well, we really saw this during the pandemic, where it was just so hard for a lot of our restaurants to stay in business. And coming out of the pandemic, it's so hard to attract and retain good talent. And before the pandemic, there was this debate on whether or not we could afford having an economic floor of $15 minimum wage. Now we know that that's the baseline, because workers aren't going to work where they're not getting paid their fair share.
Can you talk, and Mariah was discussing this,
Yep.
but the sub-minimum wage and what the city intends to do to address that, and you intend on making
Yeah.
$15 an hour plus tips part of law in the city, and it can.
Well, I would say first and foremost, you want to examine the impact that this pilot program has first, to examine what works and what doesn't work. But the big goal is to get this done statewide. So to ensure that the marketplace is set statewide.
Do you feel that this is like an experiment to see how this works?
Absolutely.
And then you take that and you make it statewide? Or
Absolutely.
you present it to the legislature?
Absolutely.
Okay, can you talk about that?
We'll see how the pilot goes and we'll go from there. Yep.
Okay. So can we talk to them individually?
Yeah, could I do one thing really quick though? Just because we've got all these workers here, could the workers come back behind on this side of the cameras really quick? I want to put everybody together if that's okay. If you're comfortable, please. Yeah, one fair wage folks, come on over.
Can I get your first and last name?
Yes, yeah, look, yeah, one more time for the workers, come on, come on. We're all in it together here, come on. And then I think you had a question, but I'll give you my name also. So my name is Mikey Nab. It's spelled M-I-K-E-Y. Last name is K-N-A-B, like bank spelled backwards. And you had a question. Is it for me?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's next? What's next in this process? They've gotten the grant. What are the next steps that these restaurants are going to be taking for this program?
Oh, great question. Okay, so these restaurants and also the second cohort, because Mayor Justin Bibb threw down and doubled the pot. So we have 10 restaurants in the first cohort. We will be awarding 10 more and hopefully even more after that as we continue to raise funds. What they will do is they will sign up for a race and gender equity training. That's 2 modules. Each is about 2.5 hours with up to 8 restaurants in each group, but the sweet spot's about 5. They work with former and current restaurant owners and DEI specialists to talk about how we recruit, hire, train, and promote our employees, and the ways in which to address implicit bias at every step of that process, so that we're empowering and ensuring agency for folks to move up a professional ladder in our industry. After that's finished, each restaurant operator gets a chance to have a one-on-one wage consultation with one of our restaurant owner professionals. As much as they are comfortable opening up their books, they will share challenges and solutions that we've learned from our network of restaurant owners, hundreds of restaurant owners across the country who have done this already and made the transition, and try to talk about how you communicate these changes with your staff and with your consumers, and how you do it profitably so you're building a resilient and sustainable business model. And they also get free membership to High Road Restaurants, the association that I run, so that they have access to our regular member calls, which include educational opportunities from third parties like HR professionals, and the network of peer-to-peer support. We're all basically on text message with each other whenever we need each other. So it's really nice to have friends in other places, and now they're all friends, to share challenges and solutions with each other. And that's essentially the process. As they go through scaling up their wages, that peer-to-peer network is critical in ensuring that the communication process and the operations process are successful. Sorry.
I kind of ask the obvious question, like when tip workers are paid a fair wage, how does that
Oh yeah, it is a good question. So there are 7 states where this has been the law as long as I've been alive, which is a long time. The law has been for over 50 years, I'll say that. And in those states, people are paid the full minimum wage and people tip the same or more as they do anywhere else. If you've ever been to those, I'll name them really quick: California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Minnesota, Montana, and Alaska. If you've ever been to any of those places, you probably didn't ask your waiter or bartender how much they make an hour before you decided whether or not to tip. Also, if you look at menu prices in cities in those states, specifically cities that are of comparable size to yours. So I'll give a good example for Cleveland. St. Paul, Minnesota is a pretty comparable city in terms of size and economic activity. Just Google restaurants and their menus in St. Paul, and they're pretty similar to the prices in Cleveland. So tip percentages do not change. Menu prices don't change in the aggregate in the long run. As a transition happens, anytime you increase a cost will have to slightly increase on menus, but that happens when the cost of avocados go up, when the cost of eggs go up, when rent goes up, when insurance goes up. We can't just say workers don't get it. So we business owners, restaurant owners specifically, are very entrepreneurial, creative, and resilient, and they've been able to figure it out in all 7 of those states. And there are recent transition examples, including Flagstaff, Arizona, which is on its 4th year of a 5-year scale up to paying 1 fair wage. Tips have not disappeared in Flagstaff. DC is in their 1st year of changing, and you heard from Mariah that they passed this policy in Chicago last week.
So are people going to be seeing menu prices increase in these restaurants, or no? You said it could be other areas.
Remains to be seen. The cool thing about these wage model consultations is they're really not about menu prices alone. They're about how to save money in all kinds of ways as you operate your business. We've found people savings in their linens. We've found people savings in their communication strategies. We've found people savings in their purchasing agreements, in their credit card swipe fees. By the way, credit card swipe fees are predatory. So sometimes menu prices don't need to increase, but at times they may. The truth about front of the house wages, which is the dining room where tipped workers work, is that that's about half of your wages outside of management. So if you're paying a sub-minimum wage to half of your staff, and your labor cost is 30%, we're talking about 15% of operating cost. So a menu price increase to cover a slight increase on 15%, a menu price increase of 10% could cover all the wages that go up to a full minimum wage with tips on top in a place like Cleveland where it's double. The full minimum wage is $10.50, sub-minimum is $5.50. Any more questions? Okay, I'm going to open it up to, it doesn't have to be on the microphones, right? You want to do one-on-ones? Okay, so for restaurant owners and workers, I think the mayor has to leave, but restaurant owners and workers, if you want to speak with press, make yourself available, stand on this side. If you don't feel like it, you can walk this way. How's that sound? All right, thanks everybody. Thank you so much for being here.